okay, the Kingsman, the Secret Service. It's not a James Bond film. And if you don't believe me, quite a few times they make reference to James Bond films and Bond-related films. This is not a James Bond film. How would you describe it? Well, they use gadgets kind of like James Bond. They're English, kind of like James Bond. They're a secret group, kind of like James Bond. Oh. They use arterial knights instead of numbers, so not like James Bond, but very, very violent for what I was expecting. Kind of like an Expendables. So it's kind of like a James Bond-esque with Expendables. I said Expandables. I guess that kind of works too. So, your main villain is Samuel L. Jackson, talking with probably one of the worst lists I think I've ever heard that not come out at the road. He, of course, is playing evil Steve Jobs, or, as I would say, playing Steve Jobs. He has this very elaborate, over-the-top plan to help save the planet. And it is very over-the-top. The few times they use it is when the movie goes very, very much over the top. And one of the end sequences, it goes even more over the top. Over the top for like a mainstream release in theaters sort of film. You know, gadgetry, they did a nice job with that. Of course, they also bring in a young recruit, which, if you're a fan of CinemaSins, or This Is Like This, it is kind of Men in Black. So I guess you can say it's Men in Black with some bits and pieces, takes some bits and pieces from the James Bond franchise, and the over-the-top violence level of like an Expendables. So, good film. Had they positioned it more like this, if they had shown a little more, it's like, oh, this is going to be, you know, someone getting cut in half, and a woman who's essentially a Blade Runner. We're going to shoot people in the head and kill people pretty maliciously. This might have gotten some more traction to it. But it was a lot more violent than I thought it was going to be. But overall, it was actually a really solid action film. Some of the dialogue, with them being very, very heavily British, is difficult. But there's enough in the way of context that you can pick up if you're an American that it actually makes sense and it flows very well.